Hi everybody, welcome to my channel. If you are a returning subscriber, welcome back. So today I wanted to show you guys how to do a digital portrait and what all goes into it and kind of my process. So as you guys can see, I have placed the image. You go into file and you go place and then you choose your image. So today I have chosen to do Marilyn Monroe simply just because I thought it would be fun. So as you can see over here in the right hand corner in my layers that I just titled the layer pic, short for picture, just to make it easy. So I'm going to click on this layer and I'm going to choose the opacity so that when we are doing the outline we can see our own lines. So I'm going to just turn the opacity down to about 62, and then I'm also going to go ahead and lock that layer in Affinity Designer. That is on your right hand side, just under those layers. And now I'm going to add a new layer. To add a new layer in Affinity Designer, it is at the bottom of your layers tab on the right hand side, and as you can see, it's just this little like icon that looks like a piece of paper with the corner folded in. So I'm gonna label this layer outline just for ease, and we are going to go ahead and get started. So I'm going to take the pencil tool as what I'm outlining with, and I'm just going to choose a solid black to outline. So again, on the right hand side under color, you will see two circles, one circle with another circle in the middle of it that is empty, so like a ring shape. That is going to be just your color that you draw with. The other one is a fill color. I use fills on some things, but I personally don't use them on my portraits just because I am just going ahead and drawing it from the picture. So I also like to zoom in. If you're new to Affinity Designer, that's why I'm kind of going through where things are located. So that zoom tool is located on your left hand side, and you just go ahead, we zoomed in just a little bit too much, that's probably good right there. And it's at the very bottom. So here we go. So I'm just going to start out by going ahead and tracing her hair. So as you guys can see, that is a pretty fine line. That's why it's really not showing up a ton. And I'm just going to start out by doing that lovely outline of her hair. And I will increase that line size in just a second. Normally that kind of would have bugged me by now actually, but I already kind of started, so here we are. So normally I don't get a full shape out of that, which if you do get a full shape, then you can just go ahead and fill it and then add in those details. But as you can tell, I had to stop because I ran into a different section of her hair and I didn't want to combine it with the rest of it because it wouldn't have quite looked right. So I may have to go back and kind of fix this a little bit, but for now it is working. And because her hair goes behind her ear, I'm gonna go ahead and just kind of draw it like that. Okay, so I want to see how the outline turned out, so I'm going to turn off the pic. There's a part of her hair that I'm not completely loving, but it was the outline, so we're just going to go with it. And we are also, while we are at it, going to turn the stroke into 1 instead of 2 or 0.2, because just so it shows up a little bit better. And I generally like to do 1 as my pretty standard line stroke when I am doing my outlines. So we're gonna go back here and continue to outline her face, and we're gonna do the earrings as well here in just a second. And kind of brush that I'm using right now is just your standard pen tool, nothing amazing. Oh, and it changed my stroke. Okay, let's go back to 25. Nothing amazing. It is just a standard pen tool, not pen tool, but pen brush that comes with your Affinity Designer. So I'm gonna go ahead and just fill in this entire, all of her hair, and I'll go back and add the other colors in, but we're just gonna do a fill and just to get the color on there. Okay, so now that we have the hair not done, but just kind of that base color in there, we are going to go ahead and start adding kind of some of the darker colors. Sorry, it's late, I'm yawning. And as you can see, I kind of went over the line. We can fix that in one of two ways when we get done. That's one of the last things I do, is just kind of fix everything, like any outside of the line stuff. And we can either do that in a pixel layer, by using the erase tool, or depending on what, like, and that's what you'd want to do if you wanted a back, like some sort of background, so that if you, then it won't show up that it was erased. Otherwise, if we're just going for a white background, I'll be lazy and just use this same pen brush and just go over it with white, just to make my life a little bit easier. I mean, either way is pretty easy, but okay. So I'm gonna click back to this picture, kind of looking a little funny right now, and I'm gonna take away the color so that I can properly assess what color I am wanting for her darker spots of hair. I'm gonna go ahead and actually color pick it. Oh, I want purple. We don't want purple. Let's see here. Note that sometimes with pictures, the colors can be a little bit off, and you do have to play with it a little bit more. So I obviously don't want that color. So that auburn color I have is a little bit better. So we're just gonna go ahead, and I'm actually gonna put a dot in. So I'm on the color layer at the moment, but it's not being shown, just so that I can mess with it a little bit. So I'm gonna put dots kind of on the areas that I want that color. And if I want to lighten it, I can do that and add those little dots simply because it's just a little bit easier. So I'm gonna add that dot, and hopefully I am able to remember which ones I have done and not done. We'll see. I actually want that a little bit darker. Okay, I think, let's see. Okay, yep, that's about where I want things. And then, oh, I forgot that one. Okay, perfect. So I'm just gonna go fill in those shapes. And because they are solid shapes, I can just go ahead and make my life easy. And I want to color pick that color. I'm gonna go into my node tool, and will it let me? I'm actually gonna do that. Oh, it's because there we go. Sorry. So this will be on the outline tool, but it will work out just fine. So on the left hand side, you'll see a little cup, and that is the fill tool. And I'm just gonna go ahead and fill these, because it'll be much quicker and easier than drawing them all in. Okay, so we're still gonna add more texture to her hair because it needs it, but I'm gonna go ahead and do her skin real quick, the same way I did that base color on her hair, and we're just gonna get everything kind of blocked out and ready for all the fun shading. Okay, so now that we have her skin all done, I am going to go ahead and click back to the photo and take the color off, and I'm going to decide, okay, where her shadowing is, and I'm going to use that same color that I used for her whole face. And I'm just going to use the the light slider, so I can go a little bit brighter here for this top part, and just kind of draw on some lines of where those highlights and darker spots are, and then we will go ahead, fill those in, and then we will make them a softer line rather than a color block, and blend it all together with a watercolor brush. If you have any questions, definitely ask me in the comment section below, and I would be happy to answer any questions that maybe I wasn't clear on in this video. So anyways, let's get to shading. I have my brush picked. Before I go back to shading, another thing you want to be conscious of is when you are doing your color picking to shade, sometimes if you were to say color pick this dark color, it may, at least this is how it is in Affinity, it may be different in like Procreate or Illustrator. I'm not sure. I've worked with Affinity a lot, so I know that's how it is. But you want to pick your base color and then remember, and then like go backwards or forwards on the lightness, on the light scale in your color labs, to match that color, the lighter or darker color that you're shading towards or whatever. I say that because sometimes it'll pull an off color for some reason, and then you won't be working towards that base color that you have, and then you'll have to start all over, and it's a pain in the butt. And I have learned that lesson the hard way for sure. So just my suggestion. But anyways, let's get started on some shading. Okay, so there is all of the skin tone blended in, and now we will get started on the hair. Basically kind of doing the same thing, just adding some more texture and stuff. I'm going to be using the same brush that I've been using with the skin, so the sponge wash brush from my watercolor brush kit. And so let's get right into that.
With you, I can't be sad with you. Just take my hand and fly up through the dreams where the skies are so clear. With you, I wanna stay with you. With you, I love the way that you love me today. Let's run up through the fields where the sun shines and heals. With you, I wanna stay with you.
Okay, so now that I have her hair a little bit more shaded, I'm gonna go back to the pen brush, and I'm going to go ahead and add some really light highlights that kind of match the consistency of the spots that are going on in her hair, just so that it's a little bit lighter here and there.
It's been so cold since you have been gone. Like I was told, you're the only one. I can't be sad with you. Just take my hand and fly up to.
Sorry guys, my program is running a little bit slow. I think it's because of the brush strokes. Sometimes it does.
With you,
See.
I wanna stay with you. I wanna stay with you. I wanna stay with you.
Okay, so obviously like around the edges needs some cleanup, but there is her hair and her skin, and all we really need to do now is her lips, her eyes, and her eyebrows and earrings, and we will be done. So let's pick the color for her lips. piece definitely still needs some cleanup on the edges, but we are going to call it for right now because my program or my computer is running like super slow. I think something needs an update. So anyways, I hope you guys like it. I hope you guys felt like you learned something. Like I said, Def said, if you guys have any more questions on how I did things or anything like that, drop a comment below and I will be sure to get back to you, because I personally like to share my insights on illustrating, and I always like to get new insights as well, on like better ways to do things, because as artists we are always progressing. So anyways, I hope you guys have a fabulous rest of your Wednesday, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.